I am Jessica Lowell with 514 Photography. I am a wedding, branding, and portrait photographer in Northeast Georgia, and today I want to show you how I edit. I'm going to use a wedding in a luxury wedding at a vineyard for my first example, and then another example I'm going to use is at a very popular barn venue where you have natural woods which tend to be orange. So I'm going to show you the two different styles. I have 4 basic presets that I use. Now, there is a disclaimer that when I switched to my Canon R6 almost a year and a half ago now, I probably went a little nuts like the rest of the world trying to get my style back because the color profile was so different, because the Canon R6 is just so much sharper. I purchased 3 or 4 different big name presets myself, and I still just couldn't nail that look. I tried to combine them. So I've went back to my original presets that I created years ago. I've never purchased a preset till I went mirrorless, and tweaked them, and I finally got it. I finally got it where I just love it, and it's simple, and like when I upload my photos into Lightroom, I just have that option that it applies my base preset pretty much across all if it's a session. So I'm going to show you that I have 4 basic presets. That's my my like portrait preset, which is I use on anything outdoors, basically bride and groom portraits, engagement sessions, senior sessions, what have you. My other big preset for weddings is I named it details, rings, florals, and tablescapes. It works for just about anything detail related. Then there's my indoor getting ready, which doesn't have, by portraits I use a lot of tone curve and warmth, whereas my indoor getting ready, I don't want it as warm. If the walls are white, I want them to look white, what have you. So that's my my 3rd preset. And then my reception indoor party preset, because I like my receptions to look natural. I want them to look, if they were in the dark, I want them to look like they were in the dark. If there's flash, if there's purple disco lights, I want all of that. So I'm going to walk you through my 4 presets. I do have the panel open where you will be able to see the regular basic parts, but as far as the tone curve, as far as like HSL panels and color grading, I've got those blocked out. If you want to purchase my presets, they're extremely affordable because they're extremely basic, but they work. There will be a link below. Also, you can sign up to get my free posing guide to see my favorite prompts to get some of these shots that you might see while I am editing. So I'm going to get started. First of all, this is a detail photo that I took. First thing I'm going to do is I like to press R and I want to straighten it up. R opens the letter R. I am a little country. I'm sorry if I have an accent, but the letter R opens the crop profile, and then I'm going to hit R to close that. Then I'm going to hit details, rings, tablescapes, just like that. Then sometimes it's just the easiest to hit auto and see what auto figures out. I do like my my edits to be slightly on the warm side. If you have gray, you can use this dropper tool. You can pick it up and select and find a gray area. Sometimes that works. That made it really cool. I just like to go from auto usually and then just tweak it from there. But I do also do as shot a lot, because as you can see, I shoot with my Canon R6s. I have my control ring set to adjust my Kelvin, so I do shoot in Kelvin most of the day, so I'm usually pretty close anyway. So as you can see, I shot in 60-50 and auto's just warming it up a bit at 64-50, and I kind of like that, maybe a tad bit more pink. And then I'm gonna brighten it up. Whoops, it would help if I hit the right key, right? I like my my details nice and bright, and you can see with my details I also have my clarity turned up a little bit, and I like this. I want to crop it a little tighter because you see where that eucalyptus ends. So I'm just going to kind of go like this, and then I'm going to sync that to the next photo, because the next photo is just a close-up of the ring, right? So here is a close-up of the ring. I just like to move back from my laptop because I'm working on my laptop right now, whereas I usually I have a big LG screen. So sometimes I just want to look back and make sure that that color is good. I am going to cool this down a little bit and add a little pink. Something you can do too, if you just have the rings and you just have a white background and the rings are platinum or white gold or silver, You can also, if you're having trouble getting white balance, sometimes you can just drag the saturation. See, I'm down here on this right. You can drag the saturation down to make it a little whiter, but we're not going to do that because this invitation has some warm hues and there is an actual gold ring. So with this, I do want to straighten it a smidge. This looks good to me. If I wanted to brighten it up even more, I would take whites right here. See what happens when you drag whites. Obviously, we're not going to do that, but you can bring your whites up. And then you can always hit K for a new mask and add some clarity if you really wanted to make that diamond pop like that. So that's awesome. Next, we're gonna show you an indoor photo. So in this getting ready room, there is a giant door behind me. So I just move off to the side and let that door light up the girls once it's nice and clean. So this is natural light. What I'm showing you, I did not pop my off-camera flash, which I usually do in the getting ready space, but what you're seeing is a natural light photo. So I'm going to click my indoor getting ready preset. Boom, just like that. It looks green to me. So first I'm going to, I guess I had all these cropped. I thought I reset them, but I'm going to straighten this guy out a little bit. I always like to brighten it first to see kind of where I'm at. So the girls all have beautiful spray tans up here, but this is looking green, but it doesn't matter. The background is not what matters. Skin tones are what matter. So I am just going to warm them up just a bit. There we go. Not too much. And then I like to add a smidge of pink. So this is kind of where I'm at. I do want to see what Auto does. Auto is pretty intuitive, you guys. Yeah, it was too warm. I didn't like it. So I'm just going to hit Command Z to go back to where I was, and this looks dull to me. So I do usually pop flash in a getting ready space, or bounce flash, whatever you want to call it, just to give, because I like a pop. If I have a videographer in the room with me, my flash might be messing up their video, so sometimes I will shoot without the flash during the getting ready part. So that is why this does not have flash. So what I'm going to do is take the whites up. I like to take the whites up. That makes it look much brighter. And then shadows you can also mess with just a bit. See what happens when you do shadows right here. I still like my darks to look dark, right? Kind of right there. I still think we need a little more pink. Boom. I like that. And then I'm going to move next. Now we're going to do outdoor. This is right after the first look. So here's a first look photo, and I'm just going to click my preset here. It's very well lit already, like their skin tones are, because there's tons of light popping. What you don't see is right about here is where the shade stops. There's tons of light popping onto them because we are in full sun for this wedding. So I hit my portraits preset, and then I am just going to brighten her up. Again, shot in Kelvin. This might be a smidge warm, so I'm just gonna bring that down and then add a little bit of pink, because my groom is pale and pink, so we want to make sure we can see that. And there you go. I would deliver this photo just like it is. The only thing I might do is take some shadows out, take some of this, the background, make it pop a little more. But this is natural in Georgia. I call myself a bright and colorful photographer because I like bright skin tones. I like my subjects to look bright. But realistically, a lot of our venues here in Georgia are not white. So I can't be bright and airy if everything isn't white. Our venues have color. They have greenery. We have mountains. We have all these beautiful things. So I consider myself a bright and colorful photographer, in the sense that I still like my images overall bright, and I like them but to have a little contrast, and I like the color. I don't desaturate it too much, though. There is a good bit with like my greens. I have my greens softened in the HSL color tone. So there's that. And I do also want to point out that I edit anchor images and then I send the rest off to my editor. Like, editing is my least favorite thing, but I do know my style. I have to be able to edit my anchor images, right? And then my editor is so amazing. Like, if she sees a tweak that needs to be made because I was a little off, she will tweak it and make it even better. So that's great. And then I'll bring it down. So when I click this preset, it's going to overexpose it even more, but that's okay, because then I can bring it down. I'm going to bring my exposure down. Yes. Now for me, this is not popping enough, so I am going to bring my whites up. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. I love this right here. And it is pretty on point for me. Bam, look at that light. It is beautiful. So I would deliver this. I would soften his skin. I would zoom in. She's got a little bit of a red patch right here. I would edit that a little bit. But as far as color, this is what I would deliver, just like that. So see, one click preset. This is just real. This is when the sun, I got them all set up and then the clouds rolled in. So you snap the picture, it's a little underexposed. It's okay. I'm going to click my preset. Perfection. I'm going to brighten it up. This one I think needs more contrast or more shadows because I like my blacks to look black. I don't like them to look gray. His hair is kind of doing a shady thing. So I am going to bring those shadows down. That might be too much for somebody. And then I'm going to bring those whites back up because I like all of the highlights popping. You can also do that with highlights. Let me show you what happens when you mess with the highlight slider. I usually just mess with whites for me and where my preset's at. Boom. And then a little warmth and a touch of pink. I just realized, y'all, I've been looking at you like this, so you can laugh at me. It's okay. This is real life. There you go. I would deliver that just like that. Beautiful creamy skin tones. Now, the creamy skin tones that you're seeing here is not here. That is here in color grading, which used to be split toning. So I used to have split toning with just my cools and my warms, but now with the new color grading, you have midtones also. So I have cools, warms, and pinks built into my own color grading recipe, I guess is what I'm going to call it. It's built into that preset. Again, if you want these, they're going to be extremely affordable. They're in the link below. Okay, this is in the same spot, turned in a different direction. Seconds later, the sun comes out because this is wedding photography, real life, right? Okay, so this is this time of year. Everything is green, it's lush, it's beautiful. As you can see, this skin tone is pretty good, but when you're in the full sun on the top of the mountain in a vineyard, these are the colors you get in the background. But I'm going to click, and because of my HSL color recipe, it just toned all that down and it made them look beautiful. Look, I would deliver that like that. I might take texture and clarity up if I wanted to. I could. She looks slightly green. I might add some pink. Boom, right in there. And I think that's beautiful. The other thing, this picture is black and white worthy. So I'm going to show you. Boom. One click. Look at my man, Mason. Do you see the impact between the black and white? Undo. I'm trying to undo and it's not undoing. Anyway, the impact between the black and white and the color. I don't know what Lightroom is doing to me right now. I already undid it. There it is. Okay. So the big impact right there with the black and white. Black and white will be included in the presets. All right. Indoor party photos. These are fun. Look at those purple DJ lights. Aren't those amazing? Okay. I'm going to, you can't fix that. You can't take it out. This is real life. That's what the party looks like. It's okay. So my receptions, indoor party, click. I like them to be bright. I like them to be contrasty and fun. So I'm just going to take this down. Now, there's a lot of highlight here. I am popping flash on their faces. If you've watched my YouTube video on my reception flash, you know I've got a flash with a DEM flip it card that is pushing light towards their faces. So if I wanted to take the highlights down a little bit, I could. If you were more light and airy, you would take the highlights down. You would probably take the shadows up. Then you want to kind of, but that's not how I do that. Let me deliver. Let's see. I'm going to take whites down a smidge, highlights down a smidge. Boom. I mean, I would deliver that. That looks beautiful. Hi, again. Okay, now I am at this is a barn venue in Georgia, and it is all natural, as you can see. So our barn venues usually photograph very orange, even though they don't look that way with the natural eye. That's kind of how our cameras usually pick them up. So I wanted to show you this. So this couple did a first touch. So they did not do a first look. So he's in here where it's really dark, and she's out here where it is really lit, but that's telling the story. So we keep him in there in the dark, but there's still light on his face, as you can see. So I'm still just going to use my portraits preset. Boom. I'm going to make sure it's straight. I might crop this a little bit like this. And then she does have a tan, and he is very pale, so we want to pay attention to that. And then of course she's overexposed here, so I'm going to bring that down a little. Let me close this so it makes my screen bigger. And there's a little bit of green, I think, in here, so I'm just going to warm it. Again, I shot in Kelvin, but white balance, again, you could just pick auto. If you're having trouble getting white balanced, if you shoot on auto white balance, sometimes auto works really good right here. Sometimes you're like, Lightroom, what are you thinking? But this is this is just, I want to show you how I edit for the bright, to make the skin tones pop, to make it creamy. I just wanted to show you my basic settings here. So this is not really like how to get white balance, other than, again, you can pick this dropper up. You can try to pick on something that's white or gray. It doesn't always work. Let's try over here. That actually looks really good. It's a little cool, but I'm shooting in Kelvin again, so I'm just gonna kind of keep it right here. I think that looks good, and then you can zoom in if you need to. Look how cute they are. In a barn venue, sometimes you want to take down, you're going to go down to the HSL and go to saturation and pull down your oranges to get more of a natural looking wood and less orange casting. But you want to be very careful about that, because skin tones also hold orange. So especially with her spray tan, if you pulled out orange from this photo, you're gonna make her funky colored. So you want to be careful about doing that. But in most of my venues that are barn, that are natural wood, I do usually pull that orange slider down a little bit. Okay, so that's how I would edit this. The next photo, I wanted to use this gallery specifically because of the venue. It's not white. It's not your typical bright and airy all white situation. It is a hard venue to shoot at. You need to light up, you need to use flashes. If you haven't yet watched my YouTube video, I think I named it Reception Flash for Dummies, because it's just that. It's like, I'm teaching you the most basic thing you need to know about flash in a reception space, how to just turn them on and confidently shoot with them. And it's an easy watch, and it will work. It will work for you. It's basic, it's non-technical. You need to watch that one. But I wanted to show you how I edit this wedding specifically because this is a very dark venue. But this is an outdoor situation where in the back we've got the barn in the background. Again, I'm just going to click my basic portraits. There we go. She again has this gorgeous spray tan, so this is a little bit of her natural color. I'm going to cool it down just a little bit and add in a little pink, and then I'm going to brighten them up a little with exposure. I love this. This is what I love, that the sun is popping off of the, you see red brick here, but then the pavers change. So we actually have her where there's some natural secondary light popping onto their faces. But she is hard lit. As you can see, these girls, the sun is directly to the right. These girls are in the full sun. If this was a photo where they were also the focus, I would not have them right here because their noses are lit. I would push them back or turn their backs towards the sun. But this specific photo is focused on the bride, so that's why I chose this lighting situation here. I would deliver this, of course. I would, well, she doesn't really have, look at this, she's got flawless skin, beautiful teeth, absolutely gorgeous. So there's very little retouching that even needs to happen here. This is straight out of camera, so I want you to see this. This is a straight out of camera. I'm going to, and look, this is at 640. 28 2.2. I'm shooting here with the RF 28 to 70. I'm going to straighten this up a little bit, and then I'm going to hit my receptions indoor party. Click, look what that does. Boom, it just brightens everything up, right? And then if you want to cool it down, because it is a barn venue, you can, because these shears should be barely off white, right? All of these shears hanging here. And that's that. It's that simple. We're going to go to the next photo. This, I'm going to show you how I use my Details Floral Tablescapes inside this venue. So this one softens it up a bit. I mean, excuse me, it takes the softening out, because you see I've got clarity turned up. I can turn that off. This is usually like for rings and stuff like that, or close-ups. I picked this image and didn't realize. So this image, my focus is here. It was on the shears, on the hanging. It wasn't on this one. I picked it really fast. But I'm just gonna back up so you can see the difference there. And then I'm going to brighten this up and I'm gonna cool it down. Just like that. I would deliver that image. Next photo. Yay, I love this couple. So the sun is behind me in this photo, but had just went down. So there's really, it's just all ambient light no matter where you're at for this photo. So I'm just gonna click that portrait. Boom. Easy, right out of camera, and or not right out of camera, it's right out of the preset. But it works because of color grading, HSL color panel, and tone curve. I just want to add a little bit of pink to this one, really, and then I'm going to brighten it up. That's how I would deliver it, just like that, that easy. This is, again, I'm going to hit reset so you can see. This is right out of camera. This was shot ISO 500, 2.5, 1/200th of a second. In this dark venue, I'm able to do that because here there's a flash. Over here, there's a flash in the corner. Here's a flash, and the other flash is up here. Look, it's in the balcony. I've pointed it towards these white shears because it turns them into giant softboxes. All right, and then there's two more in the other two corners behind me from where I'm shooting from. So I'm just gonna straighten this guy out. Boom, I'm gonna hit receptions indoor party. Whammo, easy peasy. Okay. Next shot, receptions indoor party. Again, I think reception photos are the easiest to edit, because especially if you're shooting flash, because your camera just picks up all that bright white light and it just automatically sets the right color. So you could shoot reception in auto white balance easy. I still do shoot in Kelvin. This was shot at 5350, and it's just, I mean, look at it, it's perfect. So all I have to do is straighten it up after applying my preset and go on to the next one. This here is not my flash. This is a big LED light panel. This is the videographers right here. That's where they set that up. But it is helping, giving them some backlight, so that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna hit reset again so you can see this is in camera. Here's one of the other flashes from the other angle that you just saw where I was shooting from. I'm just gonna hit receptions, indoor party, bam. On to the next photo, right? Receptions, indoor party. This one, because they are in the corner, it's like kind of dark on the edges. I don't know that I love that much. So in that case, you could always go down to post-crop vignetting and you can kind of take some of those dark edges out. But I always shoot this photo if they have like the name on the top of their cake. I have them kiss in the background and focus on the cake. This is, again, you see my flashes, one in each corner of the dance floor. This is an in-camera shot. And all I'm gonna do is hit receptions, indoor party. They look a little green. Now you hear my dog barking, and I would just kind of go from there and I would deliver the photo. Okay, thanks. I hope that really helped you. I hope you learned how to make your photos pop a little by using that white slider. That's one of my favorite sliders. Remember, do not overdo it. The other thing is I have the 5 basic presets. I think I said 4, but I forgot about black and white. It's my portraits preset. So it's basically anything involving people and outdoors. Then in my details, rings, florals, and tablescapes preset that I have my indoor getting ready, and then my receptions, and then my black and white white preset. I am selling all those at an extremely affordable price if you want them and if you want to be able to edit like I just did. That link will be in the notes below. I also have a posing guide. You want to keep up with that. And if you struggle with sales, you definitely want to be on my insiders list, which you'll automatically get if you sign up for that free posing guide, because I have big things coming out for photographers here in the next couple of months. Thank you for watching my YouTube. I hope you have a blessed day.